Mac City Morning Show. From the bottom of my heart, I'm going to say it every day. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. May it be live right now, watching the recordings afterwards, or watching those mini clips. Those mini clips are definitely catching on. So thank you for everybody who has definitely engaged in the content and the show that we're throwing out. From the bottom of my heart, I do appreciate it. We have an awesome guest here today. I'm not going to introduce him right now because first and foremost, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
Whatty up, boss? Welcome to the Mac City Morning Show.
Okay, all right, we're back. So, as per usual, if you've watched the show before, you know I don't introduce my guests because they can always do a better job than myself, because who knows them better than themselves? So, we're going to hit the guy who's here today with the camera. And sir, thank you for being here, and please introduce who you are and what you're all about to the people at home.
Elliot, thanks for having me. Well, my name is Dan Tulk. Pretty well known in Fort McMurray, I think. I've been here for a few years now, 14 years now,
Whoa.
And I am the principal of Fort McMurray Complex High School in the public school district. A little bit of a musician as well. I think one person said the soundtrack to Fort McMurray at one point. That might be a little overselling it a bit, but hey. And also board chair for some of the solutions in Fort McMurray. Okay. And I'm involved with a bunch of charity stuff. I'm involved with a bunch of stuff, and I try to keep myself in a lot of things in the city as it is.
Okay, yeah, I think the soundtrack to Fort McMurray is definitely not an over-exaggeration by any stretch.
Like, it's a cool soundbite.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I've seen you all, actually, if I'm being 100% honest, I knew you, and I know you as a musician. It wasn't until years later that I found out that, like, oh, you're an administrator in the school board. Okay, all right.
That usually throws people off. They're not throws people off, but they're usually people who know one side of my life. So either, oh, you're a principal. That's cool. I'm a principal. Yeah, absolutely. And they say, why are you at Safe On Foods playing guitar? I'm like, well, I'm a musician too. Oh, that's cool. Or there's that other side where people meet me and they're like, aren't you the guy that was playing that show last week? I'm like, yeah. Why are you here in the school? I'm like, I'm the principal. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And it's always that weird kind of reconciliation of those ideas together.
Right.
The best story is my daughter at Dickinsfield was talking about this at school, and her classmates just assumed that she had two dads. Like, so you have a dad that's a principal and a dad that's like a musician? She's like, no. They're the same dad.
That's hilarious.
Cool, yeah.
That is too funny. So in regards to the two, like you must be hands down one of the busiest guys in Fort McMurray. To hold down like that full-time principal job, and you are gigging all the time. Yeah,
until now, of course. Now things have changed a little bit.
Correct.
But usually about 110 gigs a year. But this is the tricky bit. You know, was that old adage? Find something you love to do and you never work a day in your life.
Correct. So
I've tricked the world into paying me to do things I love. Like, I love working with kids. I love seeing them learn. I love the education. It's an awesome day. So you go to work, and obviously as a principal, as opposed to a teacher, there's some different things than headaches. But generally, man, you see kids grow, so it's not work. And then, I always equate to this, I have those friends that play the pickup league hockey, and they have their ice time twice a week, or the guys that do 2 or 3 rounds of golf a week. That's the same amount of hours. It's just that my passion is music. So my hobby, you're able to make it something that is actually a feasible kind of side business.
Right.
Right. Yeah, it's a trick. I look busier than I am. I'm actually just pretty much enjoying life, man.
That's awesome, man. No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's the same kind of thing, like with this podcast, for me making my videos. People are like, dude, you're so busy. You're working all the time. Like, yeah, this doesn't count as work.
Exactly. That's the answer. Like, oh, you must be so stressed out. I'm like, well, honestly, if I wasn't here, I'd be home playing guitar or reading a book anyway. So just find a way to get paid for it.
Right. Yeah. Right. So in regards to your passion for music, where did that come from? How did that start? It's a big component of your life. So
well, it's a huge. I mean, I kind of parallel. Everything I do kind of runs through those two veins of existence. Music has always been central to me. I don't know how it came. Since I was a kid in Newfoundland growing up, music was everywhere. It's a very musical culture. When I was 12 years old, maybe 11, I was listening to like Green Day, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. Man, these guys just sound amazing. I learned a couple chords on a campfire with some of my dad's friends, and then it snowballed. And music has since then, since I've been like 12 years old, has been that kind of center in my life. Everything kind of seems to, even if I try to get away from music, it somehow kind of reverts back to music. Even with jobs, even like with Fort McMurray, I was living in England at the time actually, when someone called and said, "Hey, we need a guitar teacher in Fort McMurray." Yeah, cool, I'm coming. And then I said, "Oh, cool." So I was a musician. I'll get away from music. I'll go to business school. I get to business school, and then a music store says, "Hey, can we hire you to teach guitar and sell guitar?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." I finished my degree. So okay, I'm going back to be a teacher now. I get to St. John's. Friend calls me, "Hey, you want to play in a band?" Yeah, I do. So it's always been that kind of, even playing here in Fort McMurray, it was that thing. I said, well, I'll do it 1 gig a month so my skills don't atrophy, so I don't like lose your chops as it is. And then 1 gig became 2 gigs. 2 gigs became 4 gigs. 4 gigs became 8 gigs. 12 years later, I'm playing every weekend and I'm booked a year in advance.
That's awesome,
Fantastic.
man.
It's amazing.
That's so good. So I'm somewhat musically inept. I can play some things. When I was a kid, I used to play the trumpet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not well, but I played the trumpet. Now, lately, I've picked up the harmonica, and I'm horrible at it.
And it's one of those, you could fake harmonica, though, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good.
But the goal, and I won't say it on camera yet, but there's a certain song that I want to be able to play. Now, as an aspiring musician, what are my options here in Fort McMurray in regards to, especially during COVID, how can I get better at this harmonica? Because the YouTube videos, I've kind of, it's not working for me.
Harmonica. You know what? That's a great question. I've between you and me, I have never seen a harmonica teacher. Unharmonica? Unharmonica? I don't know what you say.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say YouTube practice.
Okay.
You keep blowing until you don't blow, I guess is the way to look at it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No,
I know that's not a great answer, but
oh, hey, I'll take
harmonica
it.
is an interesting one, right?
Yeah. Listen, I'm an adult, and I don't know. I like how the harmonica sounds. It's cool. It's a little. You can take it anywhere.
It's portable.
Super portable.
Yeah. And you can fake it if someone knows the chords, because the harmonica plays in a key.
That's right.
So if someone knows the 1 4 5 that you're playing with it, you can get through it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now for the youth out there, because I know like you're a teacher, and if they want to get into music, I know for me at the time, and the business no longer exists here anymore. It was Campbell's Music. We went. You could rent a piece of equipment. You could join the band.
Yeah.
What are the options now for somebody who's dramatically younger than me, who wants to get in and learn an instrument?
Well, I mean, your options. That's a good question. Let's be honest. A loss of Campbell's is a big loss to this community. One of the unfortunate things what's happening right now. But as a kid looking to learn, there's great schools. Keanu has a fantastic music program run by individuals like Dan Gillies, guys in the town who are really passionate about learning. Dan also works at Compton High School, so big shout out there to my team. And then, of course, the schools have a good music program. Get in there, get involved. The best way to start, and I say this to the parents out there as well, if your kid is interested in music, buy them the trombone. Go out and get them a guitar. If they may just play around with it for a bit right now, they may just start and tinker with it, but you kind of get that spark started. And kids absorb so much quicker than you would think. So my little girl didn't like, Dad, I want to play guitar like you. So I bought her a guitar. She was 1. My wife was livid. Like, here's a guitar for my little. She's 1. But now she's 8 and she's picking it up. She's playing drums. She's playing piano. And it's just that expose them to it, right? And then they will find a way.
Right.
Kids are great.
Yeah, they love it. But the school band, that was the way for me. Do they still, because I'm old, there's still school bands.
There's still school bands. They're different now.
Okay.
I mean, I find like kids want to learn. There's a lot more interest in, not more interest, but there's a lot more people looking to do beats and electronic music and those kind of things. So the traditional bands still exist and are still thriving. There's also that new interest in that being in music doesn't necessarily mean trombone or saxophone, which was my first instrument. Right. Now you're like, oh, cool, I'm learning to mix.
Yeah.
I'm learning to create beats. I'm learning to do loops. And those things are all fantastic as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, music is a big thing. I think it brings people together. And then from a young age, like you said, my parents actually threw me on to steel drums.
Oh, that's cool, man.
When I was a little kid, my dad plays the bongos and plays drums. And he was in a reggae band here in Fort Mac back in the day, yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And so they threw me on the steel drums. Now I've lost all knowledge on how to play them, but from like 6 to 8, Every weekend I used to play
That
on
is
steel
awesome.
drums.
I was actually looking at this thing. It's called a tongue drum.
Yes.
Oh man, those are awesome. I want to buy one. I was looking for one, but again, Campbell's not here, so hey, someone open a music store.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, this is something expanding. That's great, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna call you on something though.
Yeah.
It's 10 a.m. This is 10. What's this? What's going on? Like, I've been to breakfast shows before, and usually it's like coffee. It might be a bagel.
Yeah.
Oatmeal.
Right.
You have interesting setup for your morning show.
Yeah. So it is an interesting setup, and I'm glad you asked. I think my parents are going to be happy that somebody finally called me out and pointed it out.
Yeah. So we're drinking straight water.
Yeah.
Up front.
All water.
All
Currently, I'm waiting for the guests to come and say like, "Hey, can I have a drink?" So when guests come, we do have tea and coffee and water and the traditional drinks. My thought process behind that is basically this is my living room.
Oh, okay.
And so, although it's the morning, people come and visit.
Well, you don't change your living rooms depending on the day.
That's exactly it. So, and it might not be everybody's cup of tea. However, like this is Fort McMurray. We have people who work night shift, day shift, changeover. My sister will love that changeover. So 10 o'clock.
Is that short change?
Short change.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So there's somebody out there having a little drink right now. So
I got the whole 1950s madman vibe. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah.
So listen, me and Tanner have kind of a wager side bet to see who the first guest is going to be to take a
happy
sip.
not to be part of that wager right now.
Yeah. You're not going to win it. I know you got to go back to work after this. So that's where the booze comes from, though. Yeah, this is just my living room, man.
I got you.
You don't change your living room just because it's the morning.
No, I guess not. No, 8-year-olds though. My child at home. I very rarely have copious amounts of booze just sitting around.
Right.
Lots more like Barbies and toys right now. My living room has changed dramatically.
Yeah, when you have a kid, I think so. Yeah, this is not my real living room. So my living room at home with my little guy looks dramatically different as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So now you brought up some bands that influenced you when you were younger, and I listened to you play around town. You obviously listen to all forms of music.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you, number one song. What is your favorite number one song?
So I'm gonna give you like the answer.
That's what I'm looking for.
The answer is the song that you're enjoying, not you directly, but the song. And I get this. People say, "What's your favorite song?" I'm like, honestly, it's that reciprocal agreement with the audience. My favorite song is legitimately the song I'm playing while you're dancing. Now, if I'm home listening, I'm a big fan like Bob Seger and Bruce Springsteen. Like I like classic rock. But there's be something said, like, I mean, as musicians, this is these like, the summer of '69, the song that's played endlessly, the wagon wheels of the world. Mm-hmm. That I always hear musicians say, "Oh, I hate that song."
Yeah.
But then the minute you start playing that song and that dance floor fills and those people are having fun and singing along, honestly, that is my favorite song in the world. For that minute, 3.5 minutes I'm playing that song, there is no better opus written than Wagon Wheel. Right? And there is that agreement with you and the audience, like, hey, what do you like? I like what you like. That's my job, to make you happy.
That's awesome.
That's a true answer. That's a genuine answer.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Now, because of COVID, obviously, you're not playing, gigging as much. No. But I've seen you out there still, not out there physically, but virtually. So what have you been doing to keep your chops up and still entertain?
Yeah, so that's the thing. We the idea is to pivot, right? COVID and the restrictions are here. And regardless if we like them or not, they are a reality. And we have to move forward with that. So initially, right off the bat, much like your living room here, I created a living room in my basement that was a place that I could perform virtually out of, which got some traction. And that started, 9 months ago now. But now I've pivoted into partnership with different organizations. So we're doing, have some charity events coming up that we're doing live streams from. We're doing virtual open mics where it's literally just me and a camera in the room. And the person comes in and sings, and I edit them all together to appear like a show.
Oh, very cool.
And of course, this Saturday night, 57 North, doing their stream from their platform. So now I'm doing live streams, same as I was before, but via the pub's platform.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's navigating. It's different. I want to go back to live music, but we'll get there.
Awesome. Yeah. We're not going to get into that, but yes, I can't wait to hear you live again and get back out there. Now, before we get to the Mac City Minute, there's something that you mentioned that I had no idea about. You sit on the Some Other Solutions
Yeah, I'm actually the chair of the board.
Okay, so let's talk about them a little bit.
Well, you know what? As a teacher, I saw the great things. I mean, I think we've all seen, and we probably don't even know we see it, that Some Other Solutions poster that's in bathrooms everywhere. This is all the crisis numbers. And a few years ago, I was looking to get involved in something, and they're just such a fantastic organization. They take care of. If you guys don't know, they do like the suicide helpline, the emergency crisis line. They help out youth in need, and so I reached out to their executive director at the time, Mr. Jason King. I said, "Hey, are you looking for board members?" And he's like, "Yeah, cool. Let's have a meet. Let's have a chat." We talked, and that was about 3 years ago. And then I met with the current board chair at that point, and we had a chat. And I said, "This would be a great fit. If you're ever looking for somebody, let me know. My skill sets." And they're like, "Yeah, we'll come and set some board meetings and join the board." So I was a member at large for about 11 months. Like I met full board member, and then the opportunity came up to take over the chair role. And I jumped into it, and it's great, because this community has been so good to me. This community has given me so much. And I'm so blessed. I think we're all blessed to have what we have here. But with that, I think there's that opportunity and that need to give back. So with some of the solutions, they're such a great organization, and I feel so privileged to be part of them. And like I give back with school. I see kids grow. I give back with my music. I like to try to give back with this organization with some of the solutions. And it's just been such a great experience. And I'm hoping I got a long time with this group.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Well, my man, we are a part of the show where we're going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
Tanner, the man behind the cameras, has some questions. It's called the Mac City Minute. So, Tanner, hit him with your questions.
Alrighty, let's do some questions today. The first question we have for you today is, how have you seen music change locally in town since you've gotten here?
The music scene has changed locally in that the town has contract a little bit. The economic situation has caused some of our great talents to leave town. With the loss of the Keanu music program, we've lost some amazing talent. But that being said, Fort McMurray has one of the strongest scenes, and I'm not saying per capita. Fort McMurray has one of the strongest music scenes I've seen, where people come out, they get involved, they support each other. So it has changed in that we don't have the same influx of people coming in, but we attract a lot of really strong musicians. So a little smaller, but probably more tightly knit right now.
All right, question number 2. If you could learn one instrument, what would you choose?
I always wanted to be a killer piano player. I can sing, I can play piano enough, I can play the drums a bit, I can play bass, but that guy that can play piano, that guy that can sit down and like fully buble it up, man, that is a skill I want to have.
Yeah.
All righty. And what is one song you'll always sing along to?
Sweet Caroline, if you have no choice. You have absolutely no choice in the matter. It's going to happen. You're like, I'm not doing this. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. See, you did it. He did it. You can't.
You have to do it.
There's absolutely, literally no control.
It's like a law.
Psychologically innate in all humans.
All right. And what has been your kindest memory in Fort McMurray?
Oh, there's so many. Let's be honest. Okay. So during what seems like 5 events ago, during the fire, they brought me in to play at the line for the people that were getting their cards. They said, they want a touch of home, and they're so used to seeing you at Save on Foods, at the pubs. That was a great one. The day the airport opened, they had me at the end of the gate, and they said, "We want you to play for when people come off that first plane ride in Fort McMurray." But here's the best memory. I was at Avenue Coffee, which is not open yet, right? I was doing a Saturday night matinee, and there was a little kid dancing, and he was just having like a 5-year-old. And he was having such a great time, and I went to talk to his parents after. Man, your kid's having such a great day here at Avenue Coffee. Like, this has been awesome. And I've just been enjoying his company. He said, "Do you know why that kid's here?" I said, "No." He goes, "We met at Patty McSwiggan's at your show. Our first dance was to you. And then we met that night, whatever they, hooked up, whatever you want to say. Now they're married, have a 5-year-old. And we brought him out to see you. And this is kind of like a date. We're having our coffee. And our first dance. And our first time we met was the you playing. And now our son's here. And it's kind of like a full circle. I was like, it's cool. I'm kind of part of your life, man. Yeah. So Fort Mac when I say Fort Mac has become intrinsic to me. I fight for this place. I'm passionate about this city. I love this place.
That is an awesome story. Yeah. There we go. That's how you end the Mac City Minute right there.
We got one more for him.
All right.
There's 5 questions.
Okay.
So the last question for you is, how has being a teacher in town affected how you see Fort McMurray?
Well, you know everybody. You know everybody. My wife was like, "You're like a celebrity," because you go to a restaurant, someone's like, "Hey, Mr. Talk, do you want some bread?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have some bread. That's cool. I think it's free at the keg already. We're good." Or you went to the theaters when I was a new teacher. I remember I got the ticket. Landmark, don't listen. And they gave me seniors discount. I was like 26 years old. I'm like, "Yeah, score. The university's finally paying off." Yeah, it's just that you get to know everybody. You get to really be part of the town.
Cool. Those have been your questions.
There you go. All right.
Awesome.
Dude, you crushed it. You're just a natural on the mic. You don't need that guitar to talk.
I might have a bit of experience.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I know you got to get back to work. We try to keep the shows within 20 minutes, so we're at the end. Fort Mac, thank you for tuning in. Globally, actually, I was checking some of the stats. This goes outside of Fort Mac, so if you're watching outside of the community as well, thank you very much. Dan, thank you for coming today. Totally appreciate it, man.
Cheers,
You
man.
murdered it. So thank you very much. Hopefully we'll have you back again.
Sounds good.
And hopefully we'll be at some establishments listening to you live in the very, very near future.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, everybody at home, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. Really do appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, and hope you're having a great day. Peace.
What a deadly old way to end another morning show. Later, boys.